So let's begin with our invocation. Anandamai Chaitanyamai Satyamai Harane Anandamai Chaitanyamai Satyamai Harane Anandamai Chaitanyamai Satyamai Parame Ananda Chaitanyamai Satyamai Parame Satyamai Parame Satyamai Parame Satyam Jnanam Satyam Jnanam Jyoti Arvind Satyam Jnanam Satyam Jnanam Jyoti Arvind Satyam Jnanam Satyam Jnanam Jyoti Arvind Jyoti Arvind Jyoti Arvind. So, very often we are caught in this space where we feel overwhelmed by too much to do, too many chores, too many deadlines, too much of this, too much of that. And that is one of the main reasons for our unhappiness, isn't it? So, today our question is that how can we move from agitated action, action which is full of agitation about meeting deadlines, about this and that. How do we move from that towards an action which is peaceful, which is coming from a different space? So, anything that is small is unhappy. We've done this many times, Yovai Puma, that which is small, that which is large, that's Sukham, that is happy. Nalpe Sukham Asti, not in the small is there joy. So anything that feels temporary, transient, small, it'll always feel not enough, isn't it? Not enough of time, not enough of competency, not enough of capacity. It'll always and always feel small and agitated, anything that's temporary or transient. And at the same time, anything that is eternal is so secure in its eternity that it's not agitated. Are you getting that? So long as you feel you're temporary, you're always going to feel the pressure of deadlines. I won't have enough time to do this. I won't have enough. I won't have enough. But if you get a sense of your eternity, then that eternity brings you to another poise of peace. So this morning we explored a mantra, which we'll explore now. Om Svaram. Om is the God intelligence. Om Svaram is the sound of Om, which is the God intelligence which is present in everything and always. So Om Svaram, Amritam, Rit is that which dies. Amrit is that which is eternal, which lives forever. So the Om essence in us, the essence where we are one with God, is eternal. It lives forever. So Om Svaram, Amritam, it never dies. Abhayam, that which has its poise in eternity, the Om intelligence within us, that is always completely unafraid. That is Abhay. Abhay is without fear. So the mantra is very simple. Om Swaram Amritam Abhayam. Okay? So I want us to shut our eyes and just become aware of all the thoughts that are flowing in and out of our mind space. And behind the flow of thoughts, there is a space of awareness, like the sky, and clouds are the thoughts, and the clouds appear to touch the sky, but they never really touch the sky. The clouds are temporary, transient, but the sky is immutable, unchangeable, always there. So, when I'm poised in the sky, the awareness space that I am, then let me articulate this affirmation in English. I smile in the security of my eternity. So it may not make sense to your rational mind, but see if something inside you feels solaced by this utterance. I smile secure in my eternity. And one more time, I smile secure in my eternity. And then hear me chant the mantra once and then chant along with me. Swaram Amritam Abhaya. With me, Om Swaram Amritam Abhayam Om Swaram Amritam Abhayam. And just articulate this in your heart. Om Swaram Amritam Abhayam. Poised in the eternity that I really am, the surface me will go on changing, but the real me that has its station in the stable, the unchanging eternity, that me is fearless. Because all fears fear about running out of funds, time, health, capacity. But that me which is poised in my eternity has the wealth of eternity on its side. It never runs out. So now open your eyes and I'll pause here for any comments, any questions, anything you want to ask. You can unmute and ask. No questions? Okay, then we continue. So, now we come to words of Eckhart Tolle. I have so much to do. Yes, but what is the quality of your doing? Driving to work, speaking to clients, working on the computer, running errands, dealing with the countless things that make up your daily life. How total are you in what you do? Is your doing surrendered or non-surrendered? This means, what does it mean, surrendered or not surrendered? Surrendered action is action that comes from the knowing that I am eternal, from the knowing that this eternal intelligence that I am is going to do through me what I need to do. And whatever it does will be the perfect action required. So, how total are you in what you do? Is your doing surrendered or non surrendered? This is what determines your success in life, not how much effort you make. Effort implies stress and strain, needing to reach a certain point in the future, accomplish a certain result. Can you detect even the slightest element within yourself of not wanting to be doing what you're doing? That is a denial of life because every moment that comes to you is a gift of from your eternal self to your transient self. And when you resist it, you're denying that gift, you're denying life. And so a truly successful outcome is not possible. If you can detect this within yourself, can you also drop it and be total in what you do? Total means no resistance to what you're doing. How can we come to that state? We'll come to it in a bit. So there's this bit is from Thich Nhat Hanh's Sunshine and Green Leaves. And Sister Annabel Leety, who used to assist him, used to help him with work. So once she went to him, and Thich Nhat Hanh, who was called Thay, told her, "We'll do the printing work later. Let's go for a walk." So now this is Sister Annabel Leety speaking. "I was a little surprised. With so much work to do, how could there be time for a walk? I followed Thay, which was Thich Nhat Hanh, outside, and we walked on beautiful little roads in the French countryside. After some time of walking, in which I managed to forget all about the matter of printing, we returned and went into the printing room. It was a little chilly, and we needed to light the wood stove in order for the printing process to work properly. They lit the stove with evident enjoyment and without making any haste. We then had to make the printing plates. With a great deal of patience, they taught me how to do this. First, he introduced me to the printing machine. He said that it had the nature of a buffalo. We had to know its nature, what it could do, as well as its shortcomings, and then we could work efficiently with it. This buffalo has 3 speeds: fast, medium, and slow. They said he had only ever used the slow speed. The fast would be far too noisy, and if you use the medium, there was the mistake in the printing. You would not have time to stop the machine before it had just give me a minute. One moment. Hmm. Ah, before it had wasted quite a bit of paper. I was surprised at the end of the day when they told me that we had almost finished. There were only a couple of more pages to be printed the next morning. Working with Thay like this is a very important lesson. You feel that you're living in eternity and there are no deadlines. In spite of this, Thay accomplishes a great deal in terms of writing, teaching, gardening, and designing. Whatever he does with zeal and application, so that it's more like an interesting play than toil. The name Nath Han means one action, and all Thay's action are done in the same spirit of relaxation and enjoyment. To whatever action Thay applies himself, it becomes a way of making peace. So, this gives us a clue of how to transform agitated action to peaceful action. Mostly, we are agitated because we feel, oh my God, I don't have enough time. I won't finish on time. I won't be able to do it well, etc., etc. But when you live with a sense of eternity, when you live without hurry, when you just do one thing at a time, giving it your full attention, releasing that fear of I won't finish, then it becomes peaceful action. Then you're pulling your timeless self to that extent into time. So, whenever you're doing anything with agitation or feeling overwhelmed, just stop. Because, I always, Sharanya, you'll remember, I always teach you all this in school that if any work to be done is taken as a fraction 8 upon 8, 7/8 of it is about keeping yourself whole while doing it. Only 1/8 is the actual work to be done. If you sacrifice the 7/8, the 1/8 is anyway compromised. Any work you do with agitation, hurry, the feeling that I won't finish, what will happen, etc., etc., you'll tend to make mistakes, you won't enjoy it, you'll finish it with a sort of imprint on your consciousness, which is not very pleasant. So, whenever you find yourself in that mode, just stop. It's beautiful to even chant this mantra, Om Swaram Amritam Abhayam, and just remind yourself, I have eternity before me. I'm going to do the best I can, and somehow it will fall into place. Because that whole eternity that I am is also eternal, infinite intelligence. So, that simple thing, I'll do my best, and the universe will do the rest. So, I just kind of do things without hurry, with peace, and with a constant reminder that I'm eternal. I can't fear running out of time. Does this make sense? I'll pause here and ask, do you think you can bring that home into your life?
No, this actually works for me. Like when I'm studying and all, like when I think about too many, when I have a lot to finish and I keep thinking, oh, I have to do this and this and this, and it just never gets done. Like I can never achieve all of that I'm thinking about. So it like I'd rather just focus on the thing that I'm doing and then, get to those later. It always helps. Like I've started doing this like just before your session actually. Like it's been like a couple days and I've been trying to do this myself, and it's like actually working much better than when I like think about all of the stuff, because there's always going to be like a lot of things on my mind. So it's like just thinking about it won't help it. Like I have to get to it anyway. So yeah, this definitely
Let's
helps.
do it with an assurance that it'll all get done in good time.
Yeah.
I'll do my bit now. Once you finish speaking on me, mute yourself. Taranya, mute yourself. Otherwise, there's an echo. Yeah. So, while you're working, just keep reminding yourself, I'm eternal. I can never be out of time. And just pay complete attention to what you're doing, not the goal, not the end product. The step you're taking just now is your goal. So, when Thich Nhat Hanh used to make people do walking meditation in Plum Village, I'm told that he would make the children walk each step, inhaling, saying yes, exhaling, saying thank you. As if they are saying yes to every moment of existence and saying thank you for it, an unconditional thank you without resistance. It's an interesting practice. You should try it during your own walks. So, so that is the way to really do your work without fear of deadlines. Just drop that fear, because when little bit also you're poised in your eternity, you cannot be fearful, or you'll be much less fearful. So this is very beautiful. Whatever he does with zeal and application, so that it's more like an interesting play than toil. How do I play with this moment the best I can rather than just struggling through it. So we did this last class also. These are beautiful words of Sri Aurobindo. Transform effort into an easy and sovereign overflowing of soul strength. So agitated effort is the effort we are talking about. But when I lean back into even the thought of the eternity that I am, effort becomes an easy and sovereign overflowing of the soul's strength. Let all thyself be conscious force. This is thy goal. When you work with agitation, you're working with your surface being. But when you work with a sense of eternity, you're inviting the real being that you are to come with its soul strength. So, this is a personal sharing. So, a few days back, when I was feeling overwhelmed with work, and I was thinking, how will I finish everything that's on my plate? And I read this sentence of Sri Aurobindo's in Thoughts and Glimpses. And I just learnt up bits of it. So simple. Transform effort into an overflow of sovereign soul strength. And I just prayed to the Mother, transform my effort into an overflow of sovereign soul strength. And I don't know what magic Sri Aurobindo's words have. I said it 3, 4 times, and I came to complete peace. And yesterday, everything that was pending got completed. I thought it never would be. And I'm sure if I'd continued with agitated doing, it wouldn't have been. So, this is a very beautiful line just to learn it up and to just repeat it to yourself like a prayer to the Mother. Transform effort into an easy and sovereign overflowing of the soul's strength. Let all thyself be conscious force. This is thy goal. Then further from Thoughts and Glimpses, God cannot cease from leaning down towards nature. So God is not something outside me, it's the sky that I am, the eternity that I am. So that keeps leaning down towards the surface transient me. No man from aspiring towards the Godhead. It is the eternal relation of the finite to the infinite. So this also solaces me, that my real nature is seeking me as much as I am seeking it. I think Mother Sri Aurobindo said, the light you are seeking is seeking you. So it's not groping in the dark. What I am seeking is as desperately seeking to find me. It is the eternal relation of the finite to the infinite. When they seem to turn from each other, it is to recoil for a more intimate meeting. In man, nature of the world becomes again self-conscious, so that it may take a great leap towards its enjoyer. This is the enjoyer whom unknowingly it possesses, whom life and sensation possessing deny and denying seek. Nature of the world knows not God only because it knows not itself. When it knows itself, it shall know unalloyed delight of being. Possession in oneness and not loss in oneness is the secret. So I have to become one with my God nature on earth, not escape into nirvana. God and man, world and beyond world, become one when they know each other. Their division is the cause of ignorance, as ignorance is the cause of suffering. Man seeks it first blindly and does not even know that he is seeking his divine self. For he starts from the obscurity of material nature, and even when he begins to see, he is long blinded by the light that is increasing in him. So we are often seeking, but we don't even know what we are seeking. It's like something is calling us, we are restless to find it, but we don't know what it is. God too answers obscurely to his search. He seeks and enjoys man's blindness like the hands of a little child that probe after its mother. God and nature are like a boy and girl at play and in love. They hide and run from each other, and when glimpsed, so that they may be sought after and chased and captured. Man is God, hiding himself from nature, so that he may possess her by struggle, insistence, violence, and surprise. So man is God, hiding himself in nature. God is universal and transcendent man, hiding himself from his own individuality in the human being. The animal is man, disguised in a hairy skin and upon four legs. The worm is man, writhing and crawling towards evolution of his manhood. Even crude forms of matter are man in his inchoate body. All things are man, the Purusha. For what do we mean by man? An uncreated and indestructible soul that has housed itself in a mind and body made of its own elements. Further, thoughts and glimpses, Sri Aurobindo's words. What then was the commencement? Commencement is beginning of the whole matter. Existence that multiplied itself for sheer delight of being and plunged into numberless trillion forms so that it might find itself innumerably. So earlier it said that God enjoys man finding him like a child groping for its mother. So that one existence multiplies into trillions of forms just so that it first loses itself on those forms. And then the game is to rediscover its God nature and the trillion forms that it inhabits. And what is the middle? So the beginning is this existence that became trillions of forms. Middle, division that strives towards a multiple unity. Ignorance that labors towards a flood of varied light. Pain that travails, travels towards the touch of an unimaginable ecstasy. For all these things are dark figures and perverse vibrations. And what is the end of the whole matter? As if honey could taste itself, and all its drops together, and all its drops could taste each other, and each the whole honeycomb as itself. So beautiful. Sri Aurobindo is saying that honey can't taste itself, but the end will be like a honeycomb has many drops of honey. Each drop is one being. So, as if each drop could taste itself, could taste its own sweetness, and taste the sweetness of every other drop. That's the final thing. Taste the sweetness of its own eternal nature and taste that same sweetness of that eternal nature being the essence of every being. Such a beautiful metaphor. as if honey could taste itself and all its drops together, and all its drops could taste each other, and each the whole honeycomb as itself. So should the end be with God and the soul of man and the universe. Love is the keynote, joy is the music, power is the strain, knowledge is the performer, the infinite all is the composer and audience. We know only the preliminary discords which are as fierce as the harmony shall be great, but we shall arrive surely at the fugue of divine beatitudes. So now Sri Aurobindo is talking about all the chaos and pain and wars and things going wrong in the world, and he's saying, in all these things there is a meaning. And for all these contradictions, there is a release. Nature has a method in every madness of her combinings. And for her most inextricable knots, there is a solution. In all these things, there is a meaning. And for all these contradictions, there is a release. Nature has a method in every madness of her combinings. And for her most inextricable knots, there's a solution. This is such a solace. There are some things which seem insoluble to us, isn't it? We feel there's just no solution, but Aurobindo assures us that for her most complicated, inextricable knots, there's a solution. And if I just wait, the solution will come. It may not even come in this lifetime, but I'm eternal. I won't end when this body is shed. I'll continue the work in the next lifetime till it is solved. So every problem in the span of eternity always has a solution and is being taken to that. Pain and grief are nature's reminder to the soul that the pleasure it enjoys is only a feeble hint of the real delight of existence. In each pain and torture of our being is the secret of a flame of rapture, compared with which our greatest pleasures are only as dim flickerings. So we come to the Sri Aurobindo saying that pain and grief are nature's reminder to the soul that your home is not in pain and grief. And the pleasure you're looking for to ameliorate the pain and grief is only a feeble hint of the real delight of existence. When we fall back into the eternity that we are, the awareness sky that we are, we touch some flavor of the delight of existence. In each pain and torture of our being is the secret of a flame of rapture, compared with which our greatest pleasures are only as dim flickerings. It is this secret which forms the attraction for the soul of the great ordeals, sufferings and fierce experiences of life, which the nervous mind in us shuns and abhors. The restless and early exhaustion of our active being and its instruments are nature's sign that calm is our true foundation, an excitement, a disease of the soul so beautiful. The restlessness and early exhaustion of our active being are nature's sign that our true foundation is calm. and excitement a disease of the soul. And the sterility and monotony of mere calm is a hint that the play of activities on that firm foundation is what she requires of us. God plays forever and is not troubled. So beautiful. We get so excited with every little good and bad things that happens, isn't it? But look at Sri Aurobindo. If when on 24th November, Siddhi Day, when Krishna consciousness descended into him, and the whole ashram was abuzz with excitement. And when mother went to him and said that everyone's so excited about it, has it happened? So with Himalayan calm, he said, yes. Now let's see what happens. Just that, huh? Something so momentous had happened. But to the person who it happened to, there was no excitement. His Himalayan calm just didn't move. Men run after pleasure and clasp feverishly that burning bride to their tormented bosoms. Pleasure is like a burning bride. If there's a bride on fire and you reach out and hug her, you will catch fire, isn't it? And running after pleasure is like running after a burning bride, it burns you. Meanwhile, a divine and faultless bliss stands behind them, waiting to be seen and claimed and captured. So, meanwhile, while men are running after pleasure, there is a divine and faultless bliss, which is our true nature, which stands behind them, waiting to be seen and captured. So now we come to this beautiful poem of Sri Aurobindo's called Surrender. It's a sonnet, actually. O thou, of whom I am the instrument, O secret spirit and nature housed in me. So man is telling God, O you of whom I'm only the instrument. And the whole of Gita, or a large chunk of Gita, is describing how we are just the nimitta, the instrument of doing. The problem comes when I feel I am the doer. If I'm the doer, the whole responsibility of the doing is on me. If I don't do, what will happen? If I don't meet this deadline, what will happen? This is such a beautiful line just to remind myself when I'm agitated. O thou, of whom I am but the instrument. O secret spirit and nature housed in me. What I'm calling me is just a play of Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha, spirit, Prakriti, nature. Let all my mortal being now be blent in thy still glory of divinity. So, all my mortal being, which is temporary, which is afraid, which is frightened, which moves from one agitation to another, my prayer is let it blend into your still glory of divinity, in the calm that you are, in the calm that I really am in my identity with you. Let all my mortal being now be blent in thy still glory of divinity. I have given my mind to be dug, thy channel mind. I have given my mind for you to dig it as your channel. I have offered up my will to be thy will. I don't want to have my will anymore. You will in me. Let nothing of myself be left behind in our union mystic and unutterable. So, my mind, I'm offering it to you. You channel your thoughts through it. My will, let it be your will. Let nothing of myself be left behind in our union mystic and unutterable. My heart shall throb with the world beats of thy love. My body become thy engine for earth use. So my heart is right now beating with my heartbeats. It beats faster when I'm excited, etc. But when I'm one with you, my heart shall throb with the world beats, because your heart is a world beat, right? It's not an individual heartbeat. My heart shall throb with the world beats of thy love. My body become thy engine for earth use. In my nerves and veins, thy rapture stream shall move. My thoughts shall be hounds of light for thy power to lose. Keep only my soul to adore eternally and meet thee in each form and soul of thee. So, if everything of me becomes God and there's nothing of me that's intimate to me, then honey can't taste honey, right? Honey becomes honey, it has no taste buds left to taste honey. But what we read earlier, as if honey could taste itself and taste all the million drops in the honeycomb. So keep only my soul to adore eternally and meet thee in each form and soul of thee. So it's a very beautiful poem. I'm just going to read it aloud. You can, without explanation, you can shut your eyes and listen. O thou of whom I am the instrument, O secret spirit and nature housed in me, let all my mortal being now be blent in thy still glory of divinity. I have given my mind to be dug thy channel mind. I have offered up my will to be thy will. Let nothing of myself be left behind in our union, mystic and unutterable. My heart shall throb with the world beats of thy love. My body become thy engine for earth use. In my nerves and veins, thy rapture stream shall move. My thoughts shall be hounds of light for thy power to lose. Keep only my soul to adore eternally and meet thee in each form and soul of thee. So now we come to these beautiful words of Savitri. From Savitri, the immobile stands behind each daily act. Can you imagine that I feel I'm acting on my own, but the immobile, eternal God essence that I am stands behind each daily act. In a different way, Sri Aurobindo says, always behave like the mother's watching, because indeed she always is. There are these eyes of eternity which is watching over everything we do. There's another beautiful line in Savitri, calm eyes divine regard the human race. So the immobile stands behind each daily act, a background of the movement and the scene, upholding creation on its might and calm, and change on the immutable's deathless voice. So beautiful. Such a beautiful play between time and timelessness. Our thoughts, our body, our emotions are moving. But behind that, there is an immobile eternity that I am, which is the background of movement and the scene, which upholds creation on its might and calm. It's holding us. We feel we are not held, but this all powerful eternity is upholding us. And change on the immutable's deathless voice. A burning witness in the sanctuary. Sanctuary is the deepest within us, the temple within us, the psychic being. A burning witness in the sanctuary regards through time and the blind walls of form. A timeless light is in his hidden eyes. So, a burning witness in the sanctuary regards through time and the blind walls of form. A timeless light is hidden, is in his hidden eyes. So, the witness, the eternity that watches, there's a timeless light. Light is not physical illumination, light is the capacity to see through things. A timeless light is in his hidden eyes. He sees the secret things no words can speak and knows the goal of the unconscious world and the heart of the mystery of the journeying years. So, on the surface, being we are lost, confused, we don't know where to go, what will happen. But this witness in us has a timeless light in his hidden eyes. He sees the secret things no words can speak and knows the goal of the unconscious world and the heart of the mystery of the journeying years. So, the topic of our talk was from agitated action to peaceful action, bringing the timeless into time. So, the way we transition from agitated action to peaceful action is to somehow recollect and invoke a timeless being of eternity while we function in time. Now, this is theory, but how do we really do it? Well, the best situation is a yoga class, and we did it beautifully in the morning. But second best on Zoom, let's try it. If you get it, you get it. So, to enter eternity, you have to enter the eternal now. Adya? Yeah. To enter eternity, we have to enter the eternal now. Because every moment is now. There's never a moment which is not now, right? So when you're fully present in the now, it's your gateway into eternity. Therefore, the now is called the eternal now. When you are lost in thought, you are dead to the eternal now because your thoughts are always about the past or the future, isn't it? So you're like the living dead. But when you're alert, when you're poised in the now, that's when a small window to the eternity that you are opens up. And that's how Thich Nhat Hanh functioned. We know he was a Nobel Prize winner. We can't even imagine the amount of work he did. But if you read accounts of his devotees, they never found him hurried. In fact, when there'd be mammoth amount of work to be done, he would invite them to have a cup of tea with him, and they'd wonder that how is he wasting time with tea? But he would have the tea, and while they'd be working, he would often ask them, "What are you doing?" And he perfectly knew they were chopping vegetables or whatever. And if they said, "We are chopping vegetables," he'd be disappointed. If they looked up at him and smiled, he would understand that what they were doing was being fully present to this moment. Yeah. So chopping vegetables and all is the very superficial layer of doing. But while chopping vegetables, am I fully present in the now? Or am I thinking of the next thing to do? Then I've lost the eternity that I am. To enter the eternity, you have to be fully present to this moment. So I can only describe what we did in the morning, but you can do it in your own time. So you start with watching your breath. You can put your palms on your belly and just do a little conscious breathing. You think of your thoughts as a radio playing in the background. You pay no attention to the thoughts. You just pay attention to your breath. The moment your attention comes more to your breath than to your thoughts, you're already moving towards the zone of timelessness with baby steps, but you are. Then you slowly stand up with your palms on your belly. You can do it now if you have the space to. And you feel your breath with your palms on the belly, with your eyes shut. Then you relax your hands and you continue to feel your breath. Then you open your eyes and continue to feel your breath. And then you do a little walking meditation. You put the right foot forward, first heel, then toes. And you observe the weight shifting from one part of the foot to the other. And you're fully present to the breath, to the body outline, to the touch of feet on the floor as you walk. Any thought that comes that's interpreting or judging anything, you drop that thought as if it was a hot brick. I'm not allowed to pass a judgment about anything. I'm just present. And then go up to a window if you have a window in the room or any object. If you're at a window, look out at any one thing, anything your eyes rest on, and be fully present to what you're seeing, as if you've never seen it before. with a first timer's attention. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of the object. Be aware of your body outline. And then, in your own time, you can do it longer. Right now, as you walk back to your seat, walk back very consciously. With each step, inhaling, saying yes, exhaling, saying thank you. Yes to the present moment and thank you for it. And then come and sit. So, of course, this is not ideal, but what did you find when you were with that object? We were with it for a very short time. But what did you find when you were fully present to an object? You can unmute and answer.
The heart opened out.
What do you mean the heart opened out?
The heart, I could feel it coming alive.
Ah, yes, yes. Anyone else? Priyanka, you were saying something?
For me, it seemed I had never seen it before.
Ah, yes, yes,
And I see it every day, but I had never seen it.
exactly. That's what many people in my morning class said that, like one person just saw a pigeon, sort of fluttering its feathers. And he said it was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. And he said, I've seen pigeons all my life, but I've never really seen them because we are always involved with the thoughts in our mind. We are not really present to the moment. And so, this is the key to any work we do, to do it being fully present to the moment and letting go of thoughts of how will I do, what will be the outcome, blah, blah, blah. You become the living dead. When you bring the timeless into time, you come alive to the eternity that you are. So do practice it. It's a very beautiful practice. And if you have any feedback, do message me. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions, anything to say?
Miss, what do you mean by yes when you inhale? What does that yes stand for?
Yes means I'm accepting the present moment fully without any resistance or judgments. That's another very beautiful thing. Whatever life brings you, suppose I drop my judgment about it and just say that if it's come, there's a purpose. Let me just be present to it and do what I have to. Then there can't be problems, no? There'll just be situations that you'll deal with. It's your judgment that makes it into a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I was not able to walk, but what I could feel was
Mhm.
that every time so I was not able to get the present moment
Hmm.
because if I say it is present right now, it's gone. But what I could understand deeply is that being present means you do not have any past judgments or beliefs while looking at the thing. It's absolutely fresh.
Yes.
And one of the things which I was thinking about for many days was
Hmm.
whenever I meet a person, let's say, but
Hmm.
when I meet a person, I'm not meeting him right in this moment
Yes.
because I am always carrying certain judgments, certain beliefs, certain impressions
Yes.
of whatever has happened. Now, it also gives me an insight that
Hmm.
if you are really doing the witnessing work and you
Hmm.
are letting go everything every day, then
Hmm.
the next time you meet the person, it's not with all those beliefs and all those impressions. Then
Absolutely.
you are freshly that. And that also calls to me that how much deep do we have to go in witnessing
In
to
fact,
be always in that presence? Like
it's
letting go. Letting go is means when we are talking about the present, the other part is how do we let go of things so that we can be
yeah, that's a very
in this
good
mode.
question. See, we've all lived enough to know that all our judgments are nonsensical. They are hardly ever true. So just make it a practice. A judgment comes, you just ignore it like a radio playing in your head. You let it come and go, and you just pay attention. Like just now, you paid attention to an object as if you'd never seen it before. Like Rupal said, you're with a person. Suppose you tell yourself, let me meet him with a first timer's attention. Let me not believe my past narrative about the person. And just the way the pigeon becomes beautiful when you see it without your already always narrative, you may find many beautiful things becoming visible in the person without your already always narrative.
Yeah. So when about a week back, when I was sitting in the garden and looking at things, I was
Mm,
practicing letting go, and I saw a pigeon,
mm.
like a white pigeon coming and going, and I felt so present in that very moment because I had let go of a lot of judgments
Yes,
at that point of time, and that pigeon struck me in a very moment of presence and a creature of a certain region bringing some sort of a message to me.
nice. So, life is always bringing beautiful messages to us, but we are never listening. We are too lost in the dream of thoughts to be awakened to life. So, entering the eternal now wakes us up to life in this moment. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So, next week we won't have class. See you week after. Yeah.
Miss, what was this? Life is always bringing, sorry.
Bringing beautiful messages to us, but we are not listening because we are lost in thought. Yeah. All right. Yeah.